accelerators, and every moment is filtered through a screen. It is easy to get lost in a digital noise. But what happens when the virtual world becomes more real than the right in front of us? And the connections we make online begin to replace the ones that truly matter, leaving us more distant than ever. Good afternoon to one and all present here. We, the students of class 9, are delighted to perform a skit on social media addiction and how to overcome it. The characters of the skit are two separated parents, two kids, and a doctor. The second child living with the dad separately. From the moment her baby's tiny hand touched her, he became their constant, comforting them through sleepless nights, guiding them to their first steps, and wiping away every tear. As they grew, her care never named. She was the protector, teacher, and safe place. Even in the teenage years, when the silence replaced words and the distance crept in, her love stayed steady, always adapting to each stage. But slowly, something changed. At first, it was sudden, a few moments here and there, when her attention shifted to her phone, checking notifications, scrolling through posts. It was just a brief escape, a way to connect with the outside world. But soon, those moments grew into hours, and the screen became her constant companion. Every time a child reached out, hoping for connection, they heard, "You can take care of yourself." But all they wanted was a mother who once listened with a full heart, not one lost in the digital world. The distance grew, not from anger or rebellion, but because the world behind the screen had become louder than the one right in front of her. Every day at school was a battle, whispers behind her back, cruel laughter, and words that cut deeper than any blows. The child tried to ignore it, but the weight of the pain was unbearable.
You are so shy. You don't even have any friends. Your life is so awkward and embarrassing. And look at yourself. No beauty and no brains.
One evening, after a particular hard day, the child sat down beside their mother, heart heavy with the bullying. "Mom, some kids were picking on me again," they said softly, desperately hoping for the comfort they used to find in her arms. But the mother didn't even look up. Her eyes were fixed on the glowing screen, her fingers moving rapidly. She muttered, as if she had heard. "That's just eating, but you will be fine." Every day, children face battles you've never seen. The loneliness in the crowded room, the words they can't say, the pain they carry quietly, afraid to word away. And yet, in your frustration, you raise your voice thinking you know it all. You don't know what they have been through, those words they have endured. You don't know how much pain they carry behind that smile. That smile just there not to seem sad. And yet, you shout, you punish, you grow impatient, unaware of the silent struggles they endure. They don't ask for sympathy, they don't ask for perfection. All they need is someone to truly listen, to see past the surface, to hold them in their brokenness. And even when they go searching for it, you misunderstand it by thinking it all happens at this age, without knowing the whole story. And sometimes the one person they hope will understand just doesn't. The child walked in, her heart heavy from the bullying at school. The cruel words echoed in her mind. But when she turned to her mother, she found nothing but the cold glow of her phone screen. Her mother was completely absorbed in it, unaware of the pain in her daughter's eyes. "Mom, can I have something to eat?" the child asked, hoping for some comfort. Without lifting her eyes from the screen, her mother replied, "I forgot, you're old enough now. Make something for yourself." The child's stomach growled, but the loneliness was harder to bear. She went to the kitchen trying to cook, but in her frustration she burned her hand. "Mom, I burned myself," she said in a shaky voice. Her mother barely glanced up. "It's just a burn, you'll be fine," she said, already scrolling again. The child stood there, defeated. warmth and care her mother once gave her were now replaced by the cold glow of the screen. She was invisible, alone. The mother who had once been her everything was now lost in a digital world that couldn't see her pain. Social media had taken her mother away. The next day, the mother went to the kitchen to make herself some snacks while still being glued to the phone. She was cooking and also had her headphones on. As she was watching the phone and scrolling through the songs or reels, she forgot to turn off the gas after she was done cooking. This led the gas to leak. Later, when the child came home, as usual after being bullied, she still had to go and make her food for herself. In the kitchen, when she turned the gas, as it had leaked, it blazed. This made her severely injured and unconscious, but she still had some life left in her and could be saved. As the mother had headphones on and was in the other room, she didn't even hear the blast. After some time, when the phone's battery had died, that is when she got up and only to get the charger. She came out of the room and saw smoke coming. She went to check what it was and saw a child laying on the floor unconscious. She had tears in her eyes and soon called the ambulance and rushed her to the hospital. The mother waited eagerly for the doctor to come out of the operation theatre. Soon, the doctor came out and said,
"Sorry, the damage was critical and it's already late. We couldn't do anything about it. If you had bought her 5 minutes before, we could have done something to get her back."
"Is there something which you can do?"
"There is nothing which could be done now."
If the mother could have skipped even one song or one reel or one video, her daughter's life could have been saved. The mother was so into social media, she didn't even realize her child was dying mentally and now physically. Please let me stay with you and our second daughter. I'm sorry, I was all my fault. I should have taken proper care of our daughter, but it slipped from my hand, all because of my phone and Instagram and other social media. Please give me one more chance, and I promise to take care of our daughter and not make the same mistake again. She begged him to please allow her to stay with the second child, as she wanted to raise at least the second child with complete care and attention. After a lot of begging and crying, he finally said yes. While remembering their daughter's tragic death, they managed to live happily without repeating the same mistakes. After losing their daughter, they finally understood the depth of their mistakes, the moments they put for granted, and how social media had stolen their attention. The love, the care, the connection they had became them gone in an instant, buried under the endless scrolling and notification. But why do we wait for loss or tragedy to realize what truly matters? Why must we wait for silence to get serious before we appreciate the moments we once had? Too distracted by our screens. The pain of regret is heavy, and yet many of us live with our eyes half closed, only to wake up when it's too late. We don't need to wait for loss to teach us. We need to start seeing the people who are still here, the moments we still have before they slip away. Because once they're gone, all that's left are memories, and the regret of not being present when we had the chance. By chasing after life and dream, we often lose love in real life. We can start overcoming it by spending time with our